Hello Guildies and welcome back to another episode of Noob or Not, my ongoing video series where I play all the characters of Overwatch and you tell me whether I play them as a noob or not. Full disclosure, I know I'm a noob. Several of these are going to be quite bad, but some of them are going to be pretty good because some of them are very intuitive and, you know, appeal to me as a person. Like, they're right in line with my personality type, so it's easy for me to play them. And I'm sure if you look at all the characters, you'll find one or two that are just like that as well. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, because I kind of left off the last video without really going into it, but the last little bit of the last video, I was talking about different characters I'm good with and which ones I'm not, and I was getting to the point that sometimes you gotta switch tunes. Now, in this video, I don't switch tunes, but I have been practicing really hard so that I can do that, because I found that there's a lot of people that I'm playing with who only know one or two really well, right? So you need to have a nice little ability to switch it up, and that's what I'm working on. Now, in reflection, because I was looking at it too, and I think about it, and I think I'm only really good with one, maybe two. And I have a general, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll just say I'm okay with several of them. But what I'm really weak at is offense, which is crazy. You would think, well, but maybe it's because I'm not as aggressive. I'm not an aggressive person in real life, so maybe I'm just not really suited for aggressive play styles. You know, where you got to get up in there and attack. You know, I really relate to Lucio. He's probably my main. In fact, you know, if you look at the hours I play on him, he definitely is. You know, well over 40 hours. Some of you might be laughing, and some of you might be wondering, you know, like, wow, or, is that all? But, you know, he's who I play with, and I feel like I'm on point with him. And I could do a little bit more wall climbing, and I do enjoy doing that kind of stuff, skating around the walls of the whatever city I happen to be in, or village as the case may be, and or temple. And I have a good time doing it. And I like healing, and I like being close to people, and I like mixing it up and giving them some speed and stuff. But I need to practice other tunes. You know, my number two I briefly talked about was Reinhardt, and by way of example here, the reason I like Reinhardt is because it appeals to my inner tank from MMO days. You know, you got a shield, you got a sword and board, baby. You know, take care of business and do what you got to do. And oh, that's a good one right there. Zarya ability allowed me to survive that. That was quite nice. I didn't even know that until just before this match. And then I think in the game, you might overhear me talking to my companion saying, "Thank you very much for teaching me that. It felt so good to do it." Anyways, I feel at home as a tank. And speaking of tanks, our main tank, coming from the MMO environment, drops down here. So in the game, you'll hear me say, "Alright, I'm primary tank." And I take over as the main tank. So now as the main tank, it's my responsibility to plug the hole. Now, some of you might be saying, Zarya is a pretty good main tank anyways, and I don't want to deal with her. But, you know, our Reinhardt was doing what he was doing, and he was taking care of business, so I gave him the role.
Oh, nice Reaper counter. Him walking right into my laser beam and all.
Now, going back to what I was saying, I really feel that I'm only really good with 2, maybe 3 tunes, you know? So, off the top of my head, Lucio, yes. Reinhardt, yes, but I still need work because I give into the bloodlust sometimes, and does his charge, can you cancel his charge? I'm so used to being able to cancel things, but for some reason I don't think you can. Maybe I'm not looking close enough, but then again, I play with no UI half the time. As you can see here, once the main tank came back, I conceded to him and then took the support role, the off-tank role, going forward.
And you'll really love my Starch Wars videos. Reaper's trying to take our point.
Okay, but back to what I was saying. So, you know, if you want to be good in this game, I suspect, like any other game, you should probably be able to play multiple things, because you're going to run with groups that can only play 1 or 2 tunes, you know? And your ability to play more tunes will allow you to do more things better. You might have a general understanding of several tunes and not have a specialty in any, and some might say that you could be a jack of all trades but a master of none, but I will say to you that if you're a jack of all trades, you're the master arbitrator. You know better than anybody how every other class works, so you know best how to utilize your team chemistry, right? So, you know, if you're a jack of all trades, you're probably also the leader of the group, and sometimes, you know, if I could put my humility aside, sometimes I take that role. I don't have a problem with that. I have military background. I have been a leader of people in the past, both men and women, and I don't have a problem leading animated figures, you know? So that doesn't bother me at all. So, but what we're talking about here is, do you have a class other than your primary? Do you have a secondary? Do you have a tertiary? And that is the word. But I don't know the word for quadrotary. I'll make that one up. Who knows what it is. But do you? Because I went through mine and I was thinking about it. You know, Lucio, Reinhardt. I'll say Diva because I play Diva pretty well. I'll say Mei because Mei's the Cancer and everybody can play the Cancer pretty well. Man, but I'll say this about Mei again. I know I complained about her last time and I complain again. It's not a complaint, it's just what it is. And I'm sure I'm going to get slack for this. Please don't comment below unless you really, really want to and say, you're just being a hater. She's a little fast for such a chubby little girl. I'm just saying I'm not body shaming her. I'm just saying she moves a little quick for somebody who's all about slowing people down. You know, I don't know. It's just something about it. After the buff, it's really dramatic. So something about her just kind of rubs me there. Anyways, this episode I've been practicing with Zarya. And Zarya is really cool as a tank, but I'm not very good with her. But maybe after I get used to shielding people and shielding myself, and I find that the best way to do this is find a Diva on the other team, or a Reaper, and see who they're going after, shield that person. If that person happens to be myself, I shield myself. So that's a good way to play Zarya. And here's a play of the game. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end of the video. Basil, very good. Congratulations. We'll see if you make the play of the games of the month. Yeah, those are my 4, really. You know, and I'm thinking about it, and I also play Symmetra, but only really on defense, you know, because you want to put the teleporter up. I'm good with my lasers, but I think that might be about it. I really need to work on all my tunes. What tunes do you work on? You know, what do you think? You tell me. Am I being a noob thinking that I need multiple tunes to carry, or should I just carry after one? Leave a comment below. If you've enjoyed the show, by the way, give me a thumbs up. If you think I'm a noob the way I played on Zarya, and I didn't give you any commentary, but let's talk about it. Is Temple of Anubus, hold that point, stay up on the high ground on the bridge would be better than where I was, but it is what it is. The other team wasn't as good as us, so we took care of them. You know what it is. Anyways, if you'd like to see more content like this, then by all means subscribe to this channel, and thank you very much, my friends, for watching. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. If you have, I will see you real soon, because I'm sure you're going to subscribe. Bye-bye.